So what happens when we just don't need to work anymore? And I don't mean some of us, I mean all of us. With AI and automation moving at this absolutely dizzying pace, this isn't just a fun little thought experiment. It's quickly becoming the high-stakes question of our time. So let's really dig into it.
Welcome to Doctorates of the Absurd, your provider of belief on demand.
All right, let's just get right to the chase, shall we? Does it even matter if AI takes over every single job? This one question, it basically splits our entire potential future into two completely different realities. Today, we're going to take a walk down both of those paths.
And this really lays it all out, doesn't it? It's the ultimate fork in the road. On one side, you've got this utopian dream, a real Star Trek kind of future. We're talking freedom, creativity, and abundance of everything. But on the other side, well, that's the dystopian nightmare. Think Elysium, a world of massive inequality where humans become obsolete and despair is just normal. The tech is pushing us somewhere, that's for sure. But where we actually end up, that's still very much up for grabs.
Okay, so let's start with the bright side. What does that utopian promise actually look like? This is the vision of a world not just without work, but one that goes beyond the whole idea of scarcity itself.
So, what in the world is post-scarcity? It's a really key concept here. It doesn't mean we suddenly have infinite stuff. Not at all. It just means that our basic needs for survival, and hey, even a lot of our wants, can be met so easily with so little effort that the old rules of economics just kind of break. It's a world where technology has, for all intents and purposes, solved the problem of production.
Now, what's fascinating is that this isn't some brand new idea cooked up in Silicon Valley. People have been dreaming about this for ages. Even Karl Marx, writing way before the first computer even existed, he pictured a future where automation would cut down necessary work to almost nothing. And the result? Well, humanity would finally be free to do what it does best: pursue art, science, and real, genuine self-development.
So how do we get there? What's the actual roadmap? Well, the folks who believe in this idea, sometimes called fully automated luxury communism, they point to these three technological pillars you see here. First, total automation to handle all the labor. Check. Second, limitless renewable energy to power the whole thing. And third, asteroid mining to give us basically an infinite supply of raw materials. In theory, you put those three things together and you've built a world of unimaginable abundance.
Sounds pretty amazing, right? A beautiful dream. But, every dream has its shadow. So now we've got to flip the coin and look at how this incredible utopian vision could curdle and become an absolute nightmare. Because for every one of those promises, there's a potential pitfall.
And this quote just gets right to the point. The critics, they argue that this techno-utopian vision isn't just a long shot, it's actually unhelpful. It makes us ignore real-world limits. And maybe, just maybe, it's built on a pretty flawed idea of what it even means to be human.
And this table here just breaks it all down, pillar by pillar. That promise of limitless renewable energy, well, it slams right into the hard laws of physics. There are literal caps on efficiency we can't get around. And asteroid mining? Sounds cool, but the energy cost would be, well, astronomical. It completely ignores our planet's very real energy budget. And maybe the most important critique of all, this idea of luxury for all kind of just makes the mistake of thinking that human happiness is the same thing as just having more stuff, which, is the very thinking that got us into our current ecological mess in the first place.
This leads us straight to a concept from the philosopher Andre Gors, what he called the productivity without prosperity dilemma. This picture captures it perfectly, right? A symbol of past abundance now falling apart. Technology lets us produce more than ever before, but if all the money and benefits from that tech just flow to the people who own it, the rest of us are left with insecurity and feeling stuck.
And this leads directly to what some people call the Elysium scenario. The owners of the robots, the AI, they retreat into their own little world of automated luxury, while the now useless majority of humanity is just left behind. It creates this radical, permanent social divide. It's not a utopia for everyone. It's a paradise for a tiny few.
But the dark side of this goes even deeper than just economics or inequality. Let's imagine for a second we solve all that. What if we figure out distribution? Everyone gets a universal basic income, all their needs are met. We are still left with an even bigger, more profound problem, a crisis of meaning.
And this really gets us to the fundamental question, doesn't it? For pretty much all of human history, our lives have been built around one basic problem: survival. We work to live. But if technology solves that problem for us, what's left? What becomes the new reason to get out of bed in the morning? This image, this apple, eaten right down to the core, it's such a powerful metaphor for this fear. Are we at risk of becoming nothing more than passive consumers of technology's gifts? I mean, if the machines are doing all the creating, all the discovering, all the problem solving, what meaningful role is left for us? Do we just become an audience for a world we had no part in making?
So let's break down how meaning even works. On a basic level, a meaningful life often involves this really simple loop you see here. You have a goal, you take action out in the world, and then you create a valuable outcome. The real danger of total automation is that it threatens to hijack that crucial middle step, the action. It could sever the link between what we intend to do and the result, leaving us as just spectators in our own lives.
But there is a really powerful counter-argument to all this. It's called the anti-work critique, and it flips this entire problem on its head. It asks, what if the meaning we think we find in our jobs is just an illusion? What if most modern work is actually bad for us, degrading, soul-crushing? From that point of view, getting rid of work isn't a crisis we need to solve. It's the liberation we've been fighting for all along.
Okay, so this brings us to our final section. We've seen the utopian dream and the dystopian nightmare. We've touched on the crisis of meaning and the promise of liberation. The key takeaway here is that the outcome isn't written in stone. It all comes down to a choice that we have to make. And this slide lays out that choice beautifully. It's the two paths forward in our relationship with technology. Do we go for externalization, where we treat AI as our replacement? We just hand over our skills, our creativity, our decision-making, and we risk becoming totally obsolete? Or do we choose integration, where we see technology as a partner, a tool to amplify our own uniquely human abilities, ensuring that we always remain an essential part of the whole process? But look, making that choice isn't going to be simple. This quote from Andre Gores is such a crucial reminder of the system we're inside of. Our current economy has this built-in need to keep people working, even when technology makes that work completely redundant. The inertia of the system is incredibly powerful, and it's going to resist this kind of fundamental change. So, we end up right back where we started, but hopefully with a much clearer view of the stakes. The future isn't something that just washes over us. The tools we are building are unbelievably powerful, but they don't have their own agenda. Technology is not destiny, it is a choice. And the only question left is, what will we choose?